What's going on, guys, and welcome to Friday Night Gas, the podcast with Gas. As always, I am your happy and humble host, Jamie. This is week 11, game week 11, and I am joined by my co-commentator, Lum. Lum, how are we doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Had a decent week. Can't complain about it. Yep, we take it, we move.
We take it, we move. FPL is full of hits and misses. Some of us are missing more than we're hitting, aren't we, Lum?
Some of us are, yes.
Some of us are taking hits for misses, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So, what was... go on.
Now, my transfers, I was. If I'd have left it, I would have been up 11 points.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? It's when you've got the transfers, you feel like you need to make them in FPL. It's always the way.
I had two, and I was like, I've got to use them. And who I brought in is not bad. It's just someone went off when I didn't think they'd go off.
Who was that?
Fucking Brian.
Brian.
I'm not calling him by his surname. It's Brian. I'm angry with him.
So that's always the issue with me. When I see that I've got substitutions or transfers to be made, I feel like I have to make them, even if I roll them. And then there's some weeks I feel really good. I've got two transfers, and I still feel like I need to make another transfer just because it's the mental side of things, isn't it, with FPL?
Yeah, or you have two transfers or one transfer and you start taking hits.
Yeah.
Don't you? Someone, maybe.
Yes, you do. So what we're currently chronicling at the moment is probably my mental health breakdown through FPL. So this is a podcast of watching our mental health deteriorate over however many weeks it is, 38 weeks. We're on week 11. So there's still a long way to go. So speaking of hits and misses, let's start with our newest segment of the show. Players that hit and players that really missed the target. Speaking of not missing the target though, Haaland, currently 79 points, 14 million bags, 16 points last week. Should have been captaincy choice for myself, but I went against my advice. Mate, Haaland.
He's fucking awesome, isn't he? I mean, I think he's had a couple of quieter weeks. Just moving my camera, just a bit off. Yeah, he's had a couple of quieter weeks, and I mean, I thought he'd score against United, but he was just amazing.
Two goals, 2 assists against a really bad, rubbish, shit Manchester United. We go on to lose 3-0 to City, who are absolutely awesome. Haaland being at the centre of everything. Took his goals well. Should have had another goal if it wasn't for an amazing save by Andre Onana. But lots of people bet against the robot. In hindsight, crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, to be fair, I did as well. I didn't captain him. I had 3 choices, and I didn't get the right one, but I didn't get the wrong one either. So I was in the middle with what I picked. So yeah, I wish I would have captained him, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, looking at last week, we looked at different captaincies, didn't we? And we had Saka, Watkins, Haaland, Salah. I captained Salah. You captained
Same, yeah. Same.
But really, the captaincy choice should have been Erling Haaland, and I will be forever kicking myself after not doing that last week, knowing that Manchester United is shit, and he loves playing against Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but it could have been more costly. I mean, you could have captained Watkins against Luton, which, I mean, I nearly did. The captaincy was on him for a bit, but I went with Salah instead, like I said I was going to do, and he managed to get a goal, so it wasn't terrible, but it could have been better.
Yeah, I'm sure there was somebody in our group as well that captained Saka, and Saka didn't pick up any points, so it wasn't.
I think he did, didn't he?
Did he?
Did he get an assist?
Did he get an assist?
assist or a goal. What did he get?
So in that case, pretty much anybody you picked was going to get points back for you, weren't they?
Yeah, he got an assist against Sheffield. But that, I mean, in 5 goals, 1 assist is not that great, really.
No, I'm sure there was people out there who captained him that felt like we did when we captained Salah against Bournemouth. And when you only see 1 assist or no
5
goals,
yeah,
in 5 goals, that's going to be heartbreaking, and it's got to be, surely.
Yeah. Imagine you come in and you check your phone at like whatever time it was after the Arsenal game, and you're like 5-0. Oh, I must have loads of points off Saka, and you check and he's got 1 assist. You're like, oh, come on, man, that could have been like 2 goals and an assist or something, and that's huge points. But I mean, you could have picked someone worse. So.
Yeah, and Haaland
still 12 if you captain him.
Haaland, massive hit, would have been 32 points if you captain. Would have been 32 points for you to captain.
Actually, yeah.
Next game, Bournemouth, then Chelsea, then Liverpool. The fixtures seem to be getting tougher in 3 game weeks. The Bournemouth and Chelsea games, as long as he stays fit, I can see him really doing some heavy damage. Heavy damage.
We haven't played a bad game all season, but we keep losing. Like, we were better in the last game against Brentford, and we lost. I mean, the second goal was because Sanchez came up and we got caught on the break. But apart from that, they had that 1 chance and they scored it, whereas we had quite a few chances and didn't take them. Cucurella had a great chance and he scuffed it straight at Flecken, which, from an FPL point, wasn't bad for me because I had Flecken in goal. So I got the clean sheet. So it was like, yay, we lost. We didn't score again.
I would have been exactly the same if I'd have captained Haaland. It was just more of a case of just sitting there and having to swallow it down, watching him score, knowing that I'd taken a -12, thinking if I'd have just captained him, I'd have wiped that all out and I'd have been absolutely fine. So yeah, Haaland, big hitter, potential captaincy choice for Bournemouth.
Definitely.
Same again for Chelsea. Maybe a bit tougher against Liverpool, but I honestly, City seems to be clicking into gear now. So if you haven't got Haaland and you went with the no Haaland draft and put all your money on Salah, I think it might start to be time to try and reverse that, because City are pretty much bomb-proof, mate.
Yeah, you got Haaland. I've had him all season. I'll keep him all season unless he gets injured. That's the only reason he's coming out of my team.
So Haaland with a big hit, 79 points, 14 million, 16 points last week. Favourable fixtures coming up. Let's move into the second big hit of the week that's in most of our teams. Moussa Diaby, 57 points, 6.8 million points last week, 13 against Luton. Actually turned up for a change after getting 2 points against Wolves, 2 points against the Hammers, 13 points against Luton. Next games are Forest, Fulham, and a bit of a tougher, a bit of a sticky one against Spurs.
Yeah, it could be.
Moussa Diaby, man, back on the radar.
Yep. Well, I already had him, so I was just waiting for him to turn up and do something like you say. He had 2 points against Wolves, 2 points against West Ham, but like I said last week, he had the injury, so we didn't even know if he was going to play, but he did play, but he didn't get, the full minutes and didn't look great, but kept the faith, did business against Luton, so happy about that one. 13 points, we take that.
Yeah, Villa absolutely popping off at the moment under Unai Emery. Looking like a really good team. Diaby potentially finding his groove. The only issue with obviously Diaby getting so many points was the fact that Ollie Watkins didn't. It's a hard one with Villa, isn't it? Do you go with Diaby, Watkins, and Cash? Do you just go with Cash and either one of Diaby or Watkins? From what we've seen leading up to this point, Watkins has been your big hitter, but Diaby coming in clutch.
Yeah, I've got all 3 of them, and luckily Cash came off before the goal went in against Villa. So I think a lot of people have got him now. So we all kept the clean sheet, which was nice.
And we know a very, very happy Villa fan at the moment. Champions of Europe, Champions of England. I'm sure that was a post that I saw the other day. I definitely saw one that said, "Talk to me nice." No,
yeah,
please.
you could say talk to me nice.
Hopefully, the Villa bubble will burst at some point. But until then, Aston Village absolutely smashing it. Another big hitter, Diaby with 13 points. This takes us on to the misses. One of the players that I brought in for a hit didn't seem to pay off, even though the fixture seemed pretty nailed on. Mitoma, 46 points, 6.5 million points last week, 2 against Fulham at home. Yeah, expected better from Mitoma. I really did. I couldn't afford Diaby, so I brought in Mitoma, thinking that if I went early, I'd be able to make up some points, and yeah, bit me in the ass big time.
Yeah, I think Bakes brought in Mitoma instead of Diaby as well, so that was a big gain on him for me, because obviously, I mean, it was an 11-point swing. So yeah, I was happy that Diaby got so many and Mitoma didn't, because against Fulham, yeah, he could have popped off and done something, but he didn't. Great.
So although he was a miss last week, looking at his fixtures ahead, you've got Everton, Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest. Now these are games where he should be getting a return pretty much in every one of them, or at least being involved and looking interested. Everton might be slightly more difficult after what I saw of them last week. Sheffield will just get pressed to absolute death if they try and sit back and try and absorb any of Brighton's attacking prowess. And Forest should be a good game, all green fixtures. While it might have been a miss last week, I've got a good feeling that Mitoma is gonna come good, but I think by that time everybody's gonna have him in their team. I'm just hoping that they're priced down.
That's 6.5 million, I doubt it.
Yeah, I know. I'm clutching at straws here, Lum.
Yeah. They're everywhere, they're falling.
He wasn't the only miss though in midfield. A lot of FPL creators were waxing lyrical about putting Jared Bowen in. Anthony Gordon, again, another player I brought in for a hit.
I brought in Gordon as well.
So a lot of these players that a lot of the so-called experts were all talking about to bring in, just didn't seem to return. Your mainstays and the players that you've already sort of spoken about, like your Diabys, your Sakas, your Sons, your Salahs, all returned. And if anybody kept the faith in Manchester United midfielders, fucking hell, get rid. They're absolutely shit, man. Oh,
they went out my team with my wild card. As soon as that wild card was used, they were gone. They won't come back in, not unless something changes.
No, I've lost complete faith. As a die-hard Manchester United fan, I probably won't bring any Manchester United assets in. And I did toy with the idea of putting Haaland in at one point, but I'm glad I dodged that bullet and went for Watkins instead. Mm-hmm. So paid off massively. So I took a hit. Mitoma was a miss. 2 points last week. We move to the next big miss of the week. Kieran Trippier, 59.7 million now. Points last week, 0. 2-2 draw with the mighty Wolves. 0 points. Next games are Arsenal, Bournemouth, Chelsea. Yeah, man. Fucking hell. We're talking Trent money now. And I know it's his first week. He's not actually returned with anything in God knows how long. But for £7 million, you want at least an appearance point.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got Trippier. I've got Dan Burn, and obviously he's a hell of a lot cheaper, and he got the same amount of points. So, but I feel better about that because with Dan Burn's like 4.6 million, something like that. Kieran Trippier's fucking 7. It's ridiculous how much difference. So that opens a lot. That means I've got Salah, I've got Haaland, I've got decent players, Watkins and stuff like that. I've managed to spread the money elsewhere. I mean, when he goes off, it's horrible because, he can go wild and get goals, assists and everything, and it's impossible, something that Dan Burn just won't do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's nice to have a 0 for him.
Well, it was for us because neither of us have Kieran Trippier.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the FPL experts and a lot of the people that are talking about it now are now sort of backtracking on their no Haaland drafts, and they're starting to look at where can they make their money up, and it's Kieran Trippier is the first name on the team sheet where they're looking to take the cash out, reduce it down to a 4.5, 4.6, and then try and use their transfers to put it into Haaland money. I think personally they'll be okay against Arsenal. They'll wipe the floor with Brighton, and again I think they'll be okay for Chelsea. So if you are
Bournemouth,
sorry, is it Bournemouth? Yeah, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Chelsea. If you are going to keep him, there's definitely points over the next 3 games. The only thing is, Livramento last night played another outstanding game in the cup. So with Kieran Trippier looking at...
Yeah, but you can't really count that. This is against a small team, right?
Fucking shit. We're so great.
Eric out.
If Livramento is starting to look like the understudy that can actually free up some of Trippier's games, especially with the business end of Europe starting to kick off very, very soon, we might start seeing reduced minutes only to rest him. Last night we saw a much changed team for Newcastle. There is a chance that Livramento could start getting a few league starts if that's the case, especially against the lesser teams if they've got the likes of Borussia Dortmund and PSG and Milan coming back up. There's no need to risk him, especially with the amount of injuries that are starting to rack up at Newcastle. They might look to try and protect him a little bit.
I don't think he's going to get dropped that often. It'll definitely the cups, which obviously don't affect FPL at all. Yeah, he'll get dropped for them unless they get to like a final or something like that, where obviously they'll play the strongest team. I don't think in the Premier League they'll drop him because they'll still want that top 4. I think that's still their main goal. Obviously, doing well in Europe would be good if they can get out the group, last 16, etc. But they're not going to win it, so they know to get back into Europe this next season, they need to get top 4. So I think that's where Eddie Howe's priority will be. So I don't see Trippier getting dropped that often. He might be brought off early if they're battering a team, and Livramento might come on then. Or if they're playing a team that they feel they can easily beat, like a Luton, a Sheffield United, like they did last
Chelsea.
time. No.
Bournemouth.
We haven't been playing well, I've told you. We just
like...
can't score. Kunku's coming back soon. He's going to be back earlier.
Wonderful.
Mid-November, yeah.
The answer to all your prayers.
Yeah.
So that's
I
the
have
only
no
thing,
excuses.
That's the only thing I would worry about. Being a Trippier owner, that's the only thing I'd worry about. Livramento's still looking really, really good. Another great performance. Got you back in the Champions League. If he's not going to play the whole game, he's starting to come off before the 60 minutes, you're going to lose your clean sheet points. I think it's risky to start holding on to him. Now we're starting to get into the qualification part of the Champions League. I just think there has to be some rotation. I think Eddie Howe's looked, especially last night, looked at his team and were like, we need to start resting some of these players because we're getting long-term injuries. Isaac's out again now until the end of the next international.
Did Matt Target get injured last night?
Target got
went off after
injured.
5 minutes, yeah.
You've got what's his name? Jacob Ramsey. Is it Ramsey? Not Ramsey.
Murphy.
Is it Murphy? He's injured.
Jacob Murphy.
He's done something to his arm, hasn't he? His shoulder. So they're all starting to rack up. These are the players that they need to keep fresh for the big European nights. Otherwise, the European bus is going to stop rolling at some point. So for me, Kieran Trippier, 59 points, £7 million. Potential rotation risk going into the back end of the Champions League. Might be one to either look at swapping out or holding for a couple of weeks, but definitely keeping somebody on your radar to replace him with. So long. Those are the hits and those are the misses for the week. Any? I know the deadline's Saturday. Any issues? Have you looked at your team a little bit, or any potential transfers you're thinking that you could potentially make?
I'm waiting to see about Udogan. I think he'll be back because he's still got the triangle. But I'm waiting to hear team news on that to see if anything comes out. Because, I mean, I think he was close for last week's game. I mean, it was a late fitness thing and they decided not to play him. So, fingers crossed he's back. And then I've got one transfer, but I'm not sure that I need to use it. So I don't know whether I'll just roll it or when I have a proper look, whether I think, okay, his fixtures aren't that great over the next few weeks. This other guy's fixtures are great. Let's just make the change. I don't think I've got a great deal in the bank because I've got some more pricey players with Salah, Haaland, Watkins, Saka. So I haven't got a lot of funds floating around. Maybe Dan Burn could come out. I don't know. It's just a cheap way into the Newcastle defence, but I do. I mean, he could get rotated, but I think Matt Target was playing that kind of position.
Lewis
and
Hall
obviously
last
he's
night,
injured now. Yeah, Lewis Hall played last night.
Yeah,
the guy who got loads of points. He got the bonus points against Man United last season. Nobody knows how. Makes no sense.
Yeah, in a game when Manchester United won, was it 4-1, and Bruno didn't get the top bonus. Fucking crazy. The guy scored 2 and assisted, and Lewis Hall got the top bonus.
Yeah, don't get it. I don't understand that one. I'll never understand that one. That's what Lewis Hall will always be remembered for.
Yeah, and he seems to love playing against Manchester United because even as a left back, he seems to be able to fucking score against us.
Yeah, scored again. Yeah.
So does everyone. So, yeah, I think Udogie's the one that I'm looking at as well at the moment. It says 50% at the moment, 50% chance muscle injury. Spurs fixtures kind of are starting to swing a little bit in the more sort of negative aspect of the league.
Yeah.
Defensively, it means they might take a bit of a battering, and Udogie doesn't feel attacking enough at the moment, especially if he's coming back from injury. The one thing I will say about Spurs though is that Van der Ven, that centre back, fucking hell, he's good, man. He's really
he's rapid as well.
Good,
he's so fast. He is.
Yeah, he's making me think that Spurs could potentially keep some clean sheets against the bigger teams with him, Romero, Udogie if he's still there, Pedro Porro.
Well, Romero looks like a different player.
Yeah.
This season.
More disciplined.
He's not getting booked half. Yeah, he's not getting booked. He's making perfect tackles. You know, whatever Andrew said to him is working because he looks like a world-class defender.
Yeah, he really does. So as Ange is having a full-on fucking crusade up to the top of the league, I'm doing an Eric Ten Hag and moving my way down. So shall we have a look at how we got on?
Let's have a look.
My team, 68 points with the minus 12. Currently standing 13th, sinking like an absolute stone. Jamie Ten Hag, absolutely shitting the bed at the moment. In goal, Areola, 3 points. Simicas, again, glad I went early with him. Another clean sheet. Matty Cash, Kabore came in for me because Udogie didn't play, and then my backup in Gusto also didn't play, so Kabore came in for 0 points. Sonny with 10. Salah, captain with 16. Saka with 6 points. Mitoma with 2. Gordon with 2. Haaland, captain 16. And Watkins with 2. The bench is just non-existent. Spedorska, Gusto, Udogie, Archer with 1. So, yeah. Not the best, man. Not the best at all. Midfield kind of brought it back. If it wasn't for Haaland and Salah, I'd have probably struggled a little bit. And Sonny, clean sheet.
You're just above the average.
Just above. And
66 was the average.
Considering we take the minus 12 into account, I didn't get Mazza of the week, which is fucking phenomenal. But we'll get to that.
Because really, that's a 56.
Yeah, and still more points than some people.
Oh no! Oh no! Hot fire flames everywhere.
So that was my team. Not overly happy, but the team seems set up okay. As long as I can get a defensive replacement for either Kabore, Gusto, or Udogie to fill in the back line, I don't think there's anything I really need to change going into the next games. So that was my team. Long,
yeah.
Take us through your team.
Oh, my team. 74 points. No minus 12. So actual points. In goal, I had Fleckard against Chelsea. Kept a clean sheet. I mean, semi-annoyingly, but I'll take the 6 points.
Chelsea
Dan Burn.
Shit. Fuck Chelsea.
Fuck United shit.
Still above you.
Dan Burn. No. Dan Burn, 0 points, same as Kieran Trippier, but for a lot less money. Matthew Cash from Poland, 5 points. Pedro Porro got 2 because he didn't. I was hoping he's going to get subbed off earlier. Obviously, Spurs conceded quite late, didn't they? I think it was like 92, 93 minutes in they conceded, which was annoying, but yeah. Gordon came in because I did have Udoki starting because I wasn't sure on his injury. Only got 2 points, and he was also one of my transfers for the week for Brian. Musa Diaby, 13 points, very nice. James Maddison, 6 points, nice. Salah, captain, got 8 points, so I got 16 from him. Saka got the assist.
It's only just twigged to me, although I was laughing at the start. You're about Mbuemo, aren't you?
Yeah, Brian and Mbuemo. Fucking Brian. Got his friend.
He was fucking class as well.
Thing is, I kept him the week before and he did well. And I was like, he's got us next. They've got some like more tough fixtures coming up. And I was like, I wanted Watkins and I had Alvarez. So I was like, I need to make up some money there. So I put Gordon in for Mbuemo because it was cheaper and I got the money up to Watkins. And Gordon and Watkins both flopped. And Mbuemo scored more than both of them put together.
Crazy.
So
absolutely fucking crazy.
I was actually minus 11. Yeah. You bring in Watkins against Luton and Gordon against Wolves, and you don't do as well as Mbuemo against Chelsea. It's just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
I love this game, man.
Patrice, chicken and a goat. That's myself to say, worry. So Saka 6 points, Watkins 2 because he did nothing, but Diaby got the points anyway. And Haaland got 16 against United because they're shit.
Yes, we are fucking dreadful. We should have just fucking captained him. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I didn't. Just the more I think about it, the more fucking angry I am with myself for not captaining him. What a stupid thing to do. I know Man United is shit, and I know Chelsea are fucking good. I'm going to fucking hate... Out of everything that's happened this season, including like picking players that should have fucking done something or subbing people out, not captaining Haaland against Manchester United, it's going to fucking haunt me.
Well, I had my monthly review and actually got 5 stars, and I don't know how.
I got 3. Not great.
To be fair, August I wasn't great. September I wasn't great. But October I have been much more competitive and I've gone up the league pretty quickly over the course of the last 4 weeks. So I think that's maybe why. My captain choices were generally good. I was getting more points than the average. But I mean, last season I was just nailing every captain choice. Whereas this season I'm getting okay captain choices.
So the only person that really had a spooky October was me. Happy hello fucking Wayne. Right.
3 stars.
Shall we have a look at the table?
Look at it.
The table as it stands. Manager of the week, Mike Banks has finally turned his fortunes around. Crouch Potato is finally ranking hard. 79 points for the week. Mike Banks, you absolute fucker. You are manager of the week. Thank God we don't have to give it to Bates yet again. However, he's still rising in rank. This is fucking Stranger Things all over again. We are in the upside down, pretty much. 2 of the biggest gas men of the whole fucking group are in the top 3. But it happens. It happens sometimes. Leicester won a league once. So,
yeah.
Well done, Mike. You get the manager of the week. The Mazza of the week. Starting to become a fortnightly thing now, I think. Sean Jackson, 46 points. Drops down to 14. bet Lum a fiver he'd finish above him. Lum, I think we can safely say that £5 is fucking banked.
Oh yeah, that's mine. I told him when I'm coming over for the Euros to watch some of the matches during the Euros in the summer, and he can buy me a drink with it. And I'll sip it in his face.
So, Mazza of the week. Big winner of his Newcastle United football team, but big loser when it comes to FPL. Sean Jackson, an absolute Mazza. So, leagues as it stands. European Tour, AVFC, Aaron Perrin, 77 points. Sad for FPL, Reece Banks, the Professor, another sterling week, 74 points. Up into third. Real Betis, Ashley Bates with 67 points. Down into fourth, the Silver Fox, absolute she-show, Andrew Deakin, 62 points. Back up into fifth. Coming back strong after a couple of bad weeks, Backstreet Moyes, Riley Shield, 77 points. Down into sixth, dropping below Riley Shields is Liam Palmer with I'd Like to Play with 74 for the week. Non-mover at number 7, Let's Try FC, Ben Shields, 72 points. Up, finally, upper place, Green Arrow Gang, Jacko FC, Lee Jackson with 76 points. Down into 9th, my brummy mate from Dudley, I've changed my name, Craig Fowler, 68 points, bab. Up into 10th, Crouch Potato, Mike Banks, 79 points, and manager of the week. Down into 11th, Deltoids Assemble, Joe McMillan, 59 points. Up into 12th, Belong United, John Gillam, 77 points. Down into 13th, and unlucky for some, minus 12 hits, Mental Health Breakdown FC, change name, Jamie Shields, 68 points. Down into 14th, Magpie United, Sean Jackson, 46 points. And bottom of the league, but now has his login and his passwords, Slabhead FC, Taylor Bates with 75. So top of the table, Aaron Perrin, 660. Bottom of the table, Taylor Bates, 506. I'm nearly 100 points off Pez, so this is going to be one hell of a fucking comeback if I can put something together. So, look, that has been hits, misses, a bit of a transfer strategy, and the table. Good.
The table.
The table. Starting to hurt me reading this shit out every week. I'm not gonna lie. I need to see some fucking green arrows, man. I need to see some fucking green arrows. I can't keep fucking doing this, man.
You're not experting expert.
I'm not experting at all. So basically, just like we said before, do the exact opposite of what I do. Do some of what Lum does. And no, we're not getting Pez and Bates to give us FPL advice on this channel. Unless we replace me and Lum in a couple of weeks' time and you'll have FPL Bates and FPL Pez. I'll fucking shit on him.
Pez have just like, who am I getting in this week? Turn the cameras to a dartboard on the walls. Fucking Jack Harrison.
Yeah. Triple captain.
16 points.
So yeah, so Lum, that's another one. That's game week 11. Pretty much geared up, ready for the weekend. Probably going to make my change tomorrow. If I'm going to make a change, I am leaning towards a defensive change because I think I need it. My defensive cover is fucking sparse, man.
Yeah, I think my defense is the weak point.
Yeah, so I think that's where I'm leaning towards, and then hoping for the big hitters to go big. Potential captaincy at the moment is on Haaland, but I could swap it to Salah last minute. So that's kind of where I'm set up at the moment.
Yeah, same. I'm just looking. It's between Haaland and Salah. Hala.
Sebastian.
So that's what I'm looking at. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look at my transfer, see whether Udoki's going to be fit or not, and decide on whether I want to make that defensive change or not.
And there you have it. That is game week 11 wrapped up. This is Friday Night Gas, the podcast with gas, different to the other FPL channels, because we don't give a fuck. And we also like to document how shit or how well we are doing, and also try and give you some advice to try and help out with your FPL teams, or advice that you don't take.
Don't do this.
Yeah. So, as always, I am your relatively happy and humble host, Jamie. This is my co-commentator,
Lom.
and we have been Friday Night Gas. We will see you next week. Please like, subscribe, and check out the other videos on the channels. Peace. I'm shit at FPL.
Oh, go to an expert channel.
Fucking rubbish. Everybody go watch Andy.